What's up, everybody? This is Big Pablo. Today, we want to talk about the tribal chief, the head of the table, the needle mover. Should he be dethroned? Should he lose the title? Should they take it away? We're going to talk about those things in a casual way. Before we do that, man, please take a second and subscribe. Press the thumbs up, it really helps us out. And hit that little bell, the notification bell, to remind you of the upcoming shows that we got. We really appreciate all this stuff. So without further ado, man, Roman Reigns, 700 days with the title. What do you guys think, man? Let me know in the comments. Now I'm going to share my opinion, and then I'm going to share what do I think is going to happen at SummerSlam and what should happen. So on my personal channel, I have a personal YouTube channel called The LA Times with the Z at the end. I did a poll. Should Roman Reigns lose the title? About 75% of the people say yes. About 75% of the people, imagine that, out of maybe 100 and some people said yeah. When Roman Reigns shows up to a building, it's electric, like when The Rock was here or Hogan. It's pretty phenomenal. People are excited to see him. But at some point, in my opinion, man, this storyline gets old. How many times can he cheat to win? How many times can the Usos save him or Paul Heyman do something? Somewhere in the match, he'll cheat, do something, and then he might get a clean pin, but it's just wow. And Roman Reigns, we seen him on Monday Night Raw this last week telling Theory, because Vince McMahon retired, telling Theory, hey, your papa's not here no more. Talking to Vince McMahon, how he favored Theory. That's why Theory is getting all the push and Roman Reigns mocking him. But Roman Reigns also is Vince McMahon's boy. He was the boy before Theory. He was the one that was getting pushed when nobody wanted him to get pushed. And then when he turned heel, people started, looking to him. When he was a face, nobody wanted to see him. So here is Vince's boy. Vince no longer there. Man, he's had the title 700 days just about. And it's like come to the point where like, man, I want a storyline change. We need something new to happen, man. But now that Vince is gone, Vince is the one that kept the title on Roman all this time. So really, Roman is Vince's boy, But also, Roman is a cash cow. People buy tickets to come see him too, Even though they want him to be dethroned, they still come to watch him. And people who even say that will still put up their finger, the one, and still honor him when they see him live. Yeah, a little hypocrisy, but it's okay. It's a wrestling game. That's what we do, right? So, yeah, man, this is, it's getting old. It's really old. It's really old. So now we're coming to SummerSlam. We got the Beast Incarnate, Brock Lesnar. And then we got the head of the table, the tribal chief, the needle mover, Roman Reigns, in their third or fourth, I think it's the third, but it could be third or fourth bout. The other two, Roman has won, and, during the matches, obviously cheated, and low blows, and Paul Heyman involvement, and Usos involvement. So now we have it. They're going to fight again. So let me tell you a couple of things that taking into consideration. One, I really believe Brock Lesnar doesn't care if he wins or loses. All he cares about is the paycheck. It's like, Brock, we're going to give you, $700,000 to $1 million to come in and take a loss. He's like, sure, fine. He understands that it's a work. But at the same time, you got to look at Brock Lesnar. He's looking at if you're a fan, it's like if he keeps losing and losing, it's kind of like degrading his career, in my opinion. So Brock Lesnar, again, I don't think he really cares. He's just like, pay me. And we also had Brock Lesnar last week walking out of SmackDown. He walked out when he found out Vince McMahon was retired. He found out and he left. They had to call him back to the building. He came at the end of the show and just whooped Theory. So there we have that. So a lot of situations playing in. Can they put the title on the guy at SummerSlam who walked out? Obviously, I believe that Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns already know the outcome, what's going to happen, and everything. So I'm trying to talk about Brock Lesnar's part, but also looking into SummerSlam, right? And cover your ears if you don't want possible spoilers. Okay, I'm going to give you a spoiler for Roman. I'm going to give you a spoiler for Brock. All right. So if you've been following the underground news, there is a company called Ringside Collectibles. They have made and put out, and it was leaked accidentally, of one of their future toys is coming out, and it has a Brock Lesnar action figure with both belts inside the action figure. So action figure is going to be sold with Brock Lesnar with both belts. So this was leaked somehow by the toy company, and it's floating around the internet. So could this be a spoiler that Brock Lesnar will take both belts? Possibly. Now on the nay side, people are saying, why would they give it to a part-timer? Why would they give it to Brock Lesnar if he's going to win? Roman Reigns is a part-timer too, and Brock Lesnar has been showing up a lot more than Roman Reigns lately. So, Roman Reigns is, he's only put his title up for grabs, I think, 2 times in the last, 4 or 5 months. So Brock's been there a lot more than Roman, and since Roman's gone on his part-time gig, he hasn't really been there except for this last week or two building up to SummerSlam. So I'm telling Brock's part right now. So, and then I'll give my opinion at the end. Spoiler for Roman Reigns, which is not really a spoiler. If you watched Monday Night Raw, there was new t-shirts that Roman Reigns had on. Brand new t-shirts where he has both the titles and the Usos have the titles also on the same t-shirt. So, are they going to put out a new t-shirt? Is it WWE and Roman going to put out a new t-shirt on Monday if he's about to lose those titles the Saturday after they debut them? So I'm thinking, wow, that's interesting too. And what about in the picture on the t-shirt, the Usos have both titles too? So does that mean that the Usos, as well as Roman Reigns, are gonna keep the titles? Very interesting. Very interesting. So what's the truth? What's the truth, man? What's going to happen? And then also, to add to this little mix, you have Theory, who last Friday on SmackDown was beat to a pulp by Brock Lesnar. And usually the person who gets beat down before a pay-per-view usually wins. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens. It's going to be very, very interesting. Yeah, so what's my prediction? What's going to happen? As we SummerSlam is just about 48 hours away. Man, I have to say, Ringside Collectibles making an action figure of Brock Lesnar with both belts, and then Roman Reigns showing up with a brand new t-shirt with him and the Usos still having the belts 6 days before a pay-per-view. I really don't know what's going to happen. They could go either way. But the thing is, Triple H is in charge now. Roman being Vince's boy, Vince is no longer there. Vince is retired. Is he still pulling the strings? But man, at some point, Stephanie and Triple H got to hear the roar that people want to change. We don't want the same old storylines, man. You know, Vince is gone. Let's have some new exciting stuff. What I'd like to see happen, though, I would like to see Roman lose the belts. I would like to see Roman lose the belts, and even to Brock or Theory, and then to see the buildup of him running to get it back. That's what I would like to see. Just for the excitement. Can you believe the worldwide news if Roman Reigns were to lose? That would cause such an excitement. People would tune in. Or maybe if Roman Reigns does lose on Saturday, he might disappear for a while as he's a part-timer now and go off and come back later on. But he won't be gone long because here's the other interesting thing, that if the WWE cannot get Tyson Fury for Clash at the Castle, the pay-per-view after SummerSlam, the rumor is they're doing Roman Reigns versus Drew McIntyre. So does that mean Roman Reigns has to keep the titles? So there's a lot of things in play here. You know, Vince no longer, I used to say, as long as Vince is alive or with the business, man, Roman's going to be champion. But now that he's gone, is there a possibility? And again, I don't think Brock Lesnar cares if he's champ or not. He's just like, give me a couple $100,000, give me $1 million, and I don't care, I'll lose. You know, Brock Lesnar is about that money. And then Roman Reigns, you know, he's going to have opportunities for Hollywood. He wants to spend more time with his children. You know, that's what he's been doing in this meantime. So a lot of stuff going on, a lot of stuff to think upon. And then Theory. A lot of people are saying that Theory is going to come to cash in, and he's not going to do it. The Wrestling Observer, I believe it was, Figure 4 Online with Brian Alvarez in them, they were saying that it's not the time. It's not Theory's time yet, that it's too premature. It's too premature. I take issue with that, man. I take issue with that. Being that it's all scripted, I mean, come on, man, and it is what it is. I think Theory could be ready, man. Well, people like it? No. Because not a lot of people like Theory. I'm one of the Theory's fans. You know, I think he could be the future, man. Could be the future. And, yeah. So I think Theory could do it. So how will it go? What's my prediction? If I had to choose, I would not put money on this. We don't know what Triple H is thinking. We don't know what Stephanie is thinking. We don't know if what was already written. Let me tell you this: if it was already written that Brock Lesnar was going to win and Roman Reigns lose, and they try to change that, Brock Lesnar's not going to be happy. He's going to want a lot of money not to win, you know. So if Roman Reigns is already scheduled and to win, you know, I think he's going to want to keep those, man. He enjoys this, you know. But the big thing is, man, and I will say this: Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar are both part-timers. They're part-timers now. They're going to show up here and there. Here and there. They are not going to be here all the time. Theory is going to be here all the time. It's going to be very interesting, people, to see how this plays out. Could this be the signal for the future? If Roman Reigns, now this is a last man standing match between Brock Lesnar and Roman Reigns. I think it's no holds barred. It's basically barbaric. So here's my thinking. This is the way Brock Lesnar wins. And again, this is just speculation. This is the fun of wrestling. If Brock Lesnar wins, this is my opinion. My opinion. If Brock Lesnar wins, this is how it happens. He's in there. He's beating down Roman. Paul Heyman tries, but he fails to get involved. The Usos coming out and start beating up Brock Lesnar. If it's no disqualification, I believe it is, but I could be wrong because I'm not sure of all the rules of a last man standing. So, anyways, they're beating him up, whatever. Maybe the ref's knocked out. I don't know. And Roman's about to win and pin him, and out comes Drew McIntyre. Drew McIntyre does a Claymore on Roman Reigns, and Brock pins him 1, 2, 3. Thus starts the great build up for Clash at the Castle, the next pay per view. So that could be kind of interesting right there. Now, if Roman wins, we already know how he's going to win. We've seen it for the last 700 days. It's not going to be clean. It might be a clean pin, but I mean, it's going to be by cheating, by Paul Heyman or the Usos getting involved, and maybe even the Usos' little brother, I think it's Solo Sequoia or something like that, getting involved. Maybe one of them, yeah. So, or the Usos. Yeah, man. So it's going to be interesting. So we've already seen every way for Roman to win, and it's not going to be clean. It's going to be the same thing we've seen again, And then for Theory, he comes out, and most people think he's going to come out. It's going to be one of those where he fails at the cash in, the Money in the Bank. He has a suitcase. Most people think he's going to fail, and as do I. I think he's going to fail. Would it be refreshing to hear Theory as your new Universal Champion? That would be great. That would be pretty awesome. So, are both titles on the line? As far as I've seen, it was for the Universal Championship. So technically, I don't know. But being that the Ringside Collectibles have Brock with the belt with both titles, I assume it's for both titles. So, man, we're going to see what happens, guys. Are you excited for the Triple H reign? Is there going to be finally some fresh air, you guys? I hope so, man. The future, whatever happens, if Roman Reigns retains the titles, I pray they don't give them to Drew McIntyre later, because that's a boring reign. That's kind of like a biggie. It's like no excitement. But the good news, people, the Queen, Charlotte Flair, should be back on SummerSlam. So that's a good one. It'd be interesting to see what happens with her regarding the titles. Is she going to be the next one challenging Liv or Ronda? And regarding Liv or Ronda, man, I think I would like to see. I think what may happen, and this is just my opinion, this is just a speculation that Charlotte Flair will come out at SummerSlam and possibly ruin Ronda Rousey's chance to win the title. I want to see the title back on Charlotte Flair so we can see the rivalry with Ronda and others. And also there's rumors, and I know some of you out there are saying, hey man, we're sick of Charlotte having the title. But the same people who say that, and the same people who hate Brock Lesnar having the title because he's a part-timer, are the same people who love the title on Roman Reigns for 700 days, who's also a part-timer. So yeah, there's that. So I'm looking forward to this, and also the rumors that since Triple H and Stephanie are in charge now, along with Mr. Khan, that possible return of Sasha Banks and Naomi. Wouldn't that be interesting? Bayley coming. And every time we always wish for all these comebacks, but it never happens. But one thing I do hope that Bray Wyatt comes back to the fold and joins back with the WWE. Because let's face it, AEW is good. It might even be better pound for pound, but just not a lot of people watch it as a whole. Yes, the young demographic watch it, but the WWE is the A show. So most people focus on the A show. Man, so there's a lot going on. So let's see what happens. What do you guys think is going to happen? Anyways, you guys, this is Big Pablo. This is Wrestling Rehab. Should Roman Reigns be dethroned? In my opinion, absolutely. Should have happened 300 days ago. But nonetheless, we're here, and let's hope it happens. Gosh, I don't know if I could take much more of the same storyline. The Usos stepping in, Paul Heyman jumping in, Roman the cheat. It's like, come on. If Roman's going to retain, let it be the little brother of the Usos to come. And also that he might even come, the Usos' little brother, Solo, might even come to get involved in their match. And thus we see a possible, and I do think the Usos will retain. And I do think after the match, when the Street Profits, don't get me wrong, all the wins at their back, everybody thinking this is the time for the Street Profits. But the Street Profits could end up losing, and thus starts the fight between them two. So they could both have their solo careers. Who knows? But anyways, that's enough said, guys. Wrestling Rehab, this is Pablo. Roman Reigns, let's hope he gets dethroned. If not, you're going to hear me going, oh, gosh, same story, same old song. Again, nothing changed with Triple H. All right, guys, have a good one. Wrestling's great, ain't it? We get to sit through this and speculate and have fun. It's fantasy, man, and we love it. On behalf of Cholo Trucker, on behalf of Incredible Javier, on behalf of myself, Big Pablo, we appreciate you. Please help us by subscribing to the channel. Oh, later.